Hotter. Hotter. It's that Kylo Ren gif. More.
Hey there, everyone, and welcome to GalaxyCon Live, where we bring the convention experience directly to you. I'm your host for today's panel, Mario Bueno. It goes without saying that there are many memorable and beloved characters throughout the whole of Monty Oum's beloved work RWBY, but among those characters, some of the standouts have to be the quartet known as Juniper. And today we are going to be speaking to the wonderful actors who bring this wonderful quartet to life. So without further ado, we are going to bring them out to our virtual stage, beginning with the voice of Lee Ren in RWBY. Please welcome Neath Oum to our virtual stage. Hello, Neath. Welcome.
Hey, good morning. Glad to be here.
Really appreciate you having a nice early morning over there to be a part of this panel. It is never easy to deal with the time differences, so thank you so much for taking the time to be here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And also joining us here on our virtual stage, you know them as CT in Red vs. Blue, Sasha in Camp, and Nora Valkyrie in RWBY. Please welcome Samantha Ireland to our virtual stage. Hello.
Hi. So happy to be here.
So happy to have you here as well. And we are also happy to have our next guest joining us on our virtual stage here. You know them as the voices of Felix and Cronut in Red vs. Blue, Teletron 1 and Cliffjumper in Transformers War for Cybertron, David in Camp, and Jaune Arc in RWBY. Please welcome Miles Luna to our virtual stage.
Hi, everybody. Hey. Thanks for having me.
Hey, good morning.
Thanks for being here as well. But we are not done because we have to round out our wonderful quartet. So finally, we are going to be bringing up the co-host of Women in Caskets, Arid in Camp, Carolina in Red vs. Blue, and Pyrrha Nikos and Lisa Lavender in RWBY. Please welcome Jen Brown to our virtual stage. Hello.
Hello. Hi. Aw, friends. Yeah, virtual friends.
Oh, glad to bring the gang back together. Also, thank you for bringing that wonderful energy. I think it's good that you brought some extra spare, so that poor Neath can have like an extra shot of adrenaline over there, because I know how rough those morning panels can be.
By the way, I don't know if her head is gonna pop up in the stream or not, but Juniper the doggy decided that she needs to be around. And so if you see like my appendage moving, it's because Juniper's head is in my lap, being like, "Cut me."
We will definitely be on the lookout for a special guest. good guest.
She's a little too low. I think I have to. Yeah, there she is.
Oh, baby.
Give the people what they want to see.
Doggies.
Yes. So before we jump into our fan questions, because no doubt we have a ton of really excited fans who probably have an entire barrage of questions ready and waiting for you all. Just wanted to kind of, get us rolling with some general thoughts. So when I got the opportunity to speak to your cohorts in Team RWBY just a couple of weeks ago, we talked about what it's been like for them, from the beginning, watching this whole RWBY project evolve. And I wanted to take a variation on that question for all four of you. What has the RWBY journey been like for you, both individually as professionals and in performing your character over this entire stretch of time?
What a thoughtful question.
It is very thoughtful.
Very deep.
I like it. Who wants to go first? I think a lot of us will probably kind of have a similar response to the RWBY project as a whole, like as a person, just like how amazed at how it's grown into what it's become. I think we all remember how it was at that first RTX and all the excitement, and it's built upon that. And it's incredible. Like even in my neighborhood, I'll see kids wearing RWBY hats and stuff. And so it's just, it reaches so much. And like anime clubs, that my friends that are teachers at their school, they talk of the fans, all that's what's been really amazing to witness and be a part of, just looking at it as a person. But as an actor, it's been, when I was a kid, I always wanted to be in television. because I love the idea of being with a character for a really long time. And if you're really blessed and you have good writers and time goes on through your character, you get to shift and you get to evolve. And that challenges you as an actor to have your endurance and to also know what you're going to be doing on an emotional level when you're going in and recording. And there's a time jump and so many things have happened and you haven't seen the character in a year, you know? So I think it's a really beautiful challenge for an actor to be part of something that's been together for so long. And, you know, we still have some time to go, which is really exciting. It's going to be sad to, you know, whenever this ends, like my heart will kind of be a little broken because I'll have to say goodbye to her, you know, but that's kind of how I feel about this whole perspective of, you know, Ruby, the project as a person and an actor. So.
Okay.
Beautifully said, man.
Oh, thanks. Thanks,
yeah. I mean, Ruby has been a really huge part of my life in just about every way you could imagine it. You know, it's been wonderful. It's been exhausting. It's been just an insane marathon, and I'm extremely grateful for every moment I've been able to be a part of it. And I mean, like Sam said, just how far it has reached around the globe and into the hearts of people my age, people much younger, people much older.
Yeah.
That's something that I will always hold very dear, and I don't know. It's just hard to say. I feel extremely fortunate to work with such amazing people, both, you know, on and off camera, and very fortunate to have such a large and happy and excited fan base that look forward to every new episode.
Should I go next year?
Go for it, man.
Okay.
Whoever would like to, yeah.
Okay. I wasn't here from the beginning. I only jumped in the middle. So, but I can say that since I'm coming in from Tokyo, that it's been a really like eye-opening, like wow experience, because it started in the US, but you know, I'm living in another country, but even if it's a US show, it's still hugely popular over here. I sometimes see, you know, on Twitter, people making tweets and posts about how they're still seeing Ruby merch or whatever coming out and being sold in Japanese stores or online. And then there's also, you know, the Japanese dub that's being created right now. So it's kind of like, oh wow, okay, so it's still just as strong as it ever was. And I'm not sure if I'm answering the question properly, but as a person, I guess I could say it's just as an actor, I'm not sure if I qualify as that. But,
hell yeah, you do, dude.
It's just really fun because you know, we get to play pretend. Like it's like, oh, I'm a superhero for a few hours while I'm recording these lines. So yeah, that's what it feels like. It's just a blast to do it.
Yeah, I mean, everybody pretty much said what it's like. To add something, you know, slightly different. Personally, obviously, I agree with everything everyone said. You know, it's been this blessing, and also this, like, for me, this, and curse, not in a bad way, but like early on, like having to like have that burden of like, oh Lord, I know what's going to happen, and everyone loves her.
Cursed with knowledge, yes. I got you.
But it's like the most beautiful curse anyone could ever get. And it really has. It's added a lot to my life, and just like everybody, it's really cool to see how it's expanded, and it's just amazing to be like, oh, like there's figures and t-shirts, and like there now the DC comic Justice League Ruby, you know, I've been picking it up every month. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in a DC comic. And this is leading up to what I was going to say, my unique thing. So my personal favorite thing, though, because of Ruby, is my mom is so like adorable and proud. Every single time she runs into anybody that's wearing like a Ruby or Rooster Teeth related, like shirt or a thing, or anytime she sees Ruby anything like at a store, she has to take a picture of it and like text it to me. Or she like, posts like, check out this comic, this Ruby DC comic. And like, she just, it's the greatest thing to just like get a phone call from her. And she's like, my most recent one was like, guess what I'm looking at? And she was looking at the newest issue of the Ruby Justice League with Pyrrha on the cover of it. And
That's like, so cool.
She's like, do you need any of these? And I was like, I already got them.
Yeah.
But please get yourself one.
Yeah, like even like last weekend, my niece, my mom was watching my niece, and I don't know what got them to talking about like my work. I guess because they find it intriguing. There's she's like 10, and my mom was like, yeah, she's on a show that they have figurines, and she was like, what do you mean? And my mom brings it out, and she's just amazed by it. And I was like, yeah, those first couple seasons, she can totally watch it. It would be great for her, and really empowering. And she immediately got on YouTube and like started watching and stuff. So like, that was really special for me, to be able to like share that with my niece that I don't see very often. And so that was special. So I can totally like, and first off, your mother is like one of the greatest gifts in the world. And so I love that she does that. I love her.
She's hilarious.
That is her though. Like I just, meeting her, and I love that you guys can share that together. And she's just so proud.
She's really so cool. Enthusiastic. It's so adorable. And yeah, like she's fangirling all the time. She's so excited. Like and she's like, that's my daughter. Oh, that shirt you're wearing. my daughter's on that show. It's her favorite thing.
And awesome. I love it. I love it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, that's so wholesome. I'm sitting here just gobsmacked at just like how wonderful and supportive of a human being she is. That's beautiful. I love hearing a good story like that when we are, really examining the impact of these shows, not just on, the talent who brings it to life, but, also, the folks who gravitate towards, the project itself. So before we jump on to our fan questions, I just want to kind of, follow up both on Neath and Jen's points, respectively. So, Neath, when you were mentioning, the Japanese dub, that for me was definitely one of those moments where it just really hit how massive the Ruby project had become. The fact that it was getting that kind of a treatment from something that started so effectively homegrown and organic to elevate to that level, and fairly early on in its run, if I remember correctly, when the original Japanese casting was put together.
Yeah. The fans here have organized their own, I don't know what you call them. I guess you could just call it a convention. The fans have organized their own conventions here. They bring their own dojin, like fan art and fan-made goods and arts and whatever. And they all get together. They do these like huge cosplay groups, and for like I think Tokyo Comic-Con. I don't know what it's called. I forgot. But also there are huge groups that gather there as well. And then I think Warner Brothers Japan is doing the Japanese dub for the show as well. And I think on the 25th, the dub of Volume 5 is coming out on Blu-ray or something like that.
Very cool.
Yeah. So I mean, it's still going strong here, and their new and old fans are they keep coming out with new stuff every day. I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah. To your point, when your project is being represented at Comic-Con, you've made it. So that's solid. And then to Jen's point, about the acting side of things, the end of season 3, Pyrrha's big scene. We actually did a radio broadcast style adaptation of that final stretch of episodes over on my production group's Twitch channel, and even just having it reread I still remember the original performances and just what a gut punch that was. So as actors, you guys have gotten such incredible material to work with over the years, and that's even having an interpretation from effectively fan circle still evoking that same emotional response. From an actor's perspective, that is just a true blessing. So you guys truly have been very blessed with some incredible content to work with. So thank you for that, the performances, and good on you for being able to have these opportunities. Very, very happy for y'all. So we are now going to jump into our first batch of fan questions. Let's see what we have waiting in the wings for y'all. Oh, wow. All right. We are jumping straight into it. This one is from James. If you lived in Remnant, what would you want your weapon to be?
It's just hard because like there are so many ones already made, and I mean it's such a cop out, but I do truly love Nora's weapon so very much, especially her heart torpedoes when they come out of the grenade launcher. But like I also do really love something like Coco's weapon as well, like the purse that comes in becomes a machine gun. That's pretty cool. So I love those two weapons.
Man, there's something so simple about Yang's Ember Celica, like shotgun gauntlets. Yes. I remember when Monty like threw that idea out, we were just like, I mean, yes, are you kidding me? The punch that then the recoil, which then cocks and then you can go back and then just like punching the sky in fury to shoot a bevy of fireworks at a giant Nevermore is just like, that's got to be the most cathartic feeling in the world.
Right.
Let it out. Oh, I wish I still had my drawing. When I was a kid and I was playing Final Fantasy VIII, the main character Squall has a gun blade, so which I think was the inspiration for some parts of Ruby. So I kind of came up with my own design for a gun blade. It wasn't a revolver.
That's cute.
That's awesome, dude.
But Squall was such a cool badass character. I was kind of like, all right, I need to have a gun blade myself. So it looked kind of like a machete with an automatic somewhere attached at the end as a handle. So, but yeah, it's been lost for I don't know more than 20 years. So,
if you find that, please just take a picture, scan it, do what you gotta do, throw it online, and just let everybody know. Yeah. I'm sure the fans would love to see that. That sounds kind of amazing.
I think I've answered this before, but I don't remember what I said, but I think now I know what my perfect answer is for this as far as like making up a weapon. And I would want like grappling hook hands essentially, but I could use them to like wrap around and like, like super like octopus arms. They're crazy, like tentacles. They're like really strong. So you can like,
that'd be badass.
mash them into each other, whatever.
Hell yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Gotta submit some designs, see if we can work that into some future seasons. It's like somebody's got to get that. It's just I can already imagine the action scenes that would come from that.
If we wanted to go to like full like superhero powers with it too, if they were psychic gauntlet hands, like they can also dissipate, so they have you can't actually like get caught up in them or tangled like. They disappear when you need them to, sort of deal.
That'd be cool.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm feeling it. I'm digging the vibe.
All right. Send it to Carrie. Send the idea.
Yeah, for real. Some very creative designs. And if these do show up in future seasons, you saw it here first at GalaxyCon. Anyway, our next question.
And I should get paid.
Right? No, it was a completely original idea. Just playing. This is a very timely and relevant one. This one is from Cliff. Which Olympic sport or sports would Team JNPR compete in?
I have absolutely no evidence to support my answer, but in my heart of hearts, I was like, beach volleyball. Crush it at beach volleyball.
We need a
I don't
Ruby
think. I think it's only a 2-on-2 sport now that I think about it. But I don't know. Maybe Remnant Beach volleyball. You get 4. You get 4-on-4.
Yes, you do. I love that. I love us playing volleyball. I agree with that.
or Ren Nora versus John Pyrrha. Looks like we had to be on the same side.
Oh, that's so true.
That is very true. I was trying to think of a team sport specifically. Oh, you know what would be fun? Hockey.
Oh, yeah.
The amount of like you could really use everyone's sort of like not only natural ability but special, you know.
Yeah. You're guiding some blades. Nora's just constantly being sent to the penalty box.
Yes.
I was thinking Nora with the epic slap shot from like across the ring.
Oh my god!
Well, I feel like part of me feels like Nora would have to be the goalie because she's just like
to be confined too. Yes,
no way to let anything get past.
You know that her slap shot would be murder, though.
It would.
I feel like one of the shield wielders. I feel like one of the shield wielders could be a goalie or something.
Oh, definitely.
John would be the one that's just terrified, just like, please, please.
And then we'll be like, why did we make you goalie?
He constantly slips and accidentally blocks shots.
Oh man, we need a Ruby minis episode with all the teams playing sports. Quack.
I would love that. Oh my goodness.
Oh, because imagining this in chibi form is suddenly making it 10 times more hysterical.
So much better. Yes, so much better.
The game ends and then Nora's like, well, I'm off to roller derby. I'll see you guys in practice. How does she do that?
Changes her helmets out.
Yeah, exactly. Switches skates, puts on a band-aid. See you guys.
See ya, guys.
Off of her jacket.
She just rips them off.
Yeah, rips them off. Like a little tattoo, like a little Nora.
She puts on hot water tattoos real fast.
Oh my god, we need to see this. Just please, give us a chibi episode, please. All right, so we're going to move on to our next question. This one is coming at us from Abigail. Which character would you like your character to interact with more?
Oh, that's interesting.
My answer is going to be really short, and I would just say it'd be nice to interact with anyone. Be really lovely. That's all.
You know, I want to see Jaune and like any other adult figure who can let him know that he's doing okay. Just like any adult figure to be like Crow, just like, hey, chill. It's fine. You're fine.
I don't know. I mean, any of the 4 girls. I think that maybe Weiss. I feel like Nora and Weiss haven't really interacted that much, and I find them completely opposite human beings' personalities. So I would kind of like that, or even just more villains too. Like overall, that'd be really cool. Because I've always loved the fight scenes with Nora and a villain, but like there's never like we had that conflict with Ironwood. You know, that was one of my favorite scenes to ever record was with Ironwood during that. So you know, more like that. I think that like not much fighting, but more intellectual kind of heated conversations. That would be pretty cool to see. But yeah, I think so. But I also like her like the scene with Hazel where she like grabs him and like is electrifying him and everything, and that's also really cool to record. So yeah, I like them both.
That's a tough one because the characters that I wanted Ren to interact with more, he's already done so. Like, I mean, there's obviously he interacts a lot with Nora, but then there was also just in the last volume where he was interacting a whole lot with Yang. So it's kind of like, who's left? Oh, I guess you could say Winter, because their characters are kind of, you know, a little bit aligned, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Which would like, you know, the whole stoic, not very talkative, very strict, stern demeanor or whatever. But as to whether that would actually lead to sparks or whatever, like where they would actually, come into conflict because, it's like they're all so focused. It's kind of like,
Right.
Yeah. But I can't think of anyone else because, sorry, I'm trying to like.
Oh no, that's fine. That's
it's like Harry got a lot of interaction with pretty much a lot of characters. So I'm like, wait, who's left?
Yeah.
I was gonna say the fact that you've definitely already like ticked that box. That's already pretty amazing. That you've been able to have that, with your characters. So hey, good on you. Our next fan question for everybody is coming at us from Pink Rose. Is there a line or moment in the show you look back at and can't help but still get emotional about?
Oh boy.
Well, your wonderful host definitely already gave one of those away just about a question or two ago. So I got that one covered. Contributing to the conversation unintentionally.
I feel like my answer is going to be obvious, so I'll just go first. But not that I, watch it over and over again, but I remember the first few times that I saw, the Pyrrha's death scene, do you believe in destiny? Remember the first time like feeling really silly, but like for it, but I was like, I'm crying over myself. Like I got very it was really hard not to cry. And so it's really hard because it wasn't just like I wasn't crying like, oh, I'm such a good actor. It was definitely the like I knew it, but that was the moment because it like happened where I was like, oh, she's dead. I'm done. Like she's done. Like she's it felt a lot. I mean, I was, I don't know. I was more emotional about it than I thought I was going to be. I knew I would be a little bit, but it kind of surprised me. Yeah.
That's also a really good scene you do so well with.
Oh, thanks, Sam.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful performance. I think that one of mine is kind of a little bit more recent when, Nora is explaining to Ren recently how she just like, she needs to like find who she is without him. I remember reading that and also like she looks different now with her scars and everything. And like, she looked so like she's small, right? But I've always seen her as larger than what she kind of comes off of, with her power. And in that moment, she just seems so small. And when I read it, when I was recording, I did get choked up because like, I think it's also just something that like everyone kind of experiences in like any kind of relationship that like you want to obviously know who you are before anything else. And so, when I think back on it and then when they did like a script to scene with it, which is pretty cool. And first off, I didn't know I was being recorded in the booth. And so they're like, I should know this by now, though. If there is something in front of you, it's probably recording you. But anyway, and when they showed the script screen for it, I like found myself watching it, and I wasn't watching me because, oh God, no, I don't want to do that. But I was watching the scene between the characters of like Ren and Nora, and I found myself like getting tearful, and I was like, I know what's going on. What's going on? Why am I getting sick? What? But I think that's a testament to the animation. And then I would hopefully I think it's a testament to my acting too. But really, like I just liked the writing of that scene, and like obviously I responded to it in a very vulnerable state while I was recording it too. So that's the one that kind of jumps out of me right now. So
it's not like a Jean liner moment, and it's a fairly recent one, but Winter and Penny's final scene together at the end of the most recent season, I cannot watch that scene without getting emotional. Like those two just absolutely knocked it out of the park performance wise, and with the music and the simplicity of the set, I guess you call it in that moment. hats off to everybody who laid a hand on that scene. Like that scene gets me every time.
Yeah.
This is a kind of tough one. Well, first, when you say emotional, is that like, getting teary-eyed and choked up, or just any emotion at all? Like,
obviously, the ones we've been sharing have definitely been on, the more teary-eyed side. But
okay.
I would argue you could interpret this for, more joyful emotion. If something elicited that kind of a response, that's fair game as well if you got one.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's just so many. Like, the show's evoked, from sadness, depression to like, it's like, all right, let's go, and then like it's like woohoo, jab. So it's kind of like, or the fight scenes, like, all right, let's go. So for like teary-eyed kind of stuff, like there's just so many though. Like Miles said with the last volume between Winter and Penny, but then there's also Yang and Ruby when they're talking about their mom and everything like that. And then there's also Nora's and Ren's moments, not just in the last volume, but in the end of volume 3 and volume 4. There's a lot of these, like a lot of emotional moments. But then, like at the end of volume 4, with the fight with the Knucklevi, and I'm like, I felt myself like, you go, boy, get it out. I was like, wait, does that count as emotional? I was like,
it got you hyped. So excitement, joy, vigor.
Just the last volume, I have to go with Miles on that one. The last volume had a lot of moments that were kind of like bringing in a lot of emotional stuff. Like, it's finally like cathartic. they're letting it all out. So I'm so proud of them.
Rock and roll. So we are going to roll on to our next question. This one is coming at us from Stephanie. All right, seems like a bit of a parallel to how we started, but definitely happy to hear your collective takes on this in this specific format. So thoughts on how much Team JNPR has evolved over the course of the story?
I really like how they have some pretty mature and vulnerable conversations with one another. Especially, changing from like volume 1, Jaune is like obsessed with wanting to be the hero and thinks he needs to do everything on his own and is filled with like some toxic masculine traits and stuff. And then over time, he just kind of needs to get broken down, put in his place, fail a whole lot, and then be picked up by his teammates. And I really do, as not the Team RWBY stars of the show, but still obviously members of like a large ensemble cast. Like, I love the times of vulnerability and tension that they have sorted through, worked through, and gotten over and become stronger for. I love that stuff. Anytime we all have scenes together is fun.
Well, I agree with everything that Miles is saying. Like, we're not JNPR anymore. And I will always feel a little sad about that, to be quite honest, because I just assumed maybe she'd come back in the show, but that was naive of me. But yeah, no, I totally agree with Miles in all of that sense that like we're not just children playing games. We've evolved into young adults, like playing the game of life in a very, very high stakes game, So I've loved the evolvement of that. I just wish we had our girl back, But I loved what we got to experience together in that too, the playfulness, and we still kind of grew in that short amount of time with Pyrrha in the group, that's it.
Yeah, I have to agree with that one. They started off as being kids at school, and now they're out on the front lines trying to save the world. And for at least Ren, that evolution has physically come out with his.
Oh my God!
With his new semblance.
He's a man.
Right. Which then leads me though. I'm like, I I can't wait to see like what the other characters like what their evolution will look like. So like what will happen to Nora when her semblance evolves, and John too. Like what's the next step for him? I can't wait to see that. So
I'm sorry I let that out.
It's so good. It's so good. Because it's so true.
Totally yes. All right, let's go save Remnant, y'all. We got this.
Like every single time Ren gets a new outfit change, it's like the entire concept art team's just going hotter. It's that Kylo Ren gif. More. Show me the shoulders.
But it's so true. It's so true.
Yeah, give him tricep detail more.
No, don't do it more. Don't. I won't be able to watch properly.
Oh my gosh.
Have to censor it just for Sam. This is your personal copy. Where's Ren? Don't worry about it.
It's just one still image of Volume 1 Ren sloppily pasted over him in every scene. Like a censor bar.
Exactly.
Made him poser.
Just dragging it around the screen. Just very haphazardly. I'm sorry, Jen.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I don't really have much to add to that.
Fair enough. No, we'd like to end on Ren's hot, please. Thank you very much.
And that's our pen. No, just kidding. We still have a couple more minutes. And we have this wonderful question from Anne that we need to take a look at. So, if your character had an exotic hobby, what do you think it would be? For example, I think Pyrrha would be into glass making. I see that.
Yeah, no, that's. I think that sounds great. Although I feel like she would, yes, probably do some glass blowing, but also, I mean, and I've said this before, which is why I will always hold true to it, which is like, she's clearly a visual artist that makes metal sculptures with her like magnetic powers. So she makes like these like abstract art pieces out of metal.
Yes.
I mean,
I love that.
I mean, duh. She has like a little studio.
I can picture Jaune up late at night working on a new tabletop RPG campaign and painting minifigs. I can definitely. I don't think he's good at painting minifigs. Like, I need to stress that. Like, I don't think he's good at it. But that's not what it's about. It's about like it's something like it's just a thing that he can kind of focus on, and he puts on like his soundproof headphones and just kind of like works on it, and like we'll go up to like Ren and be like, check it out. It's an orc, and Ren would be like, oh yeah, no, yeah, obviously, yeah, no, you did great. I like purple. Like such an intense purple, Jaune. Wow, that's really great, man. I was like, yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, who's gonna be the DM?
Oh my god.
Okay, that's kind of a tough one for Ren because they've already kind of covered that in the show. I mean, I don't know if it counts as exotic, but Ren's a cook, so he's got the pancakes. I'm sure he's probably got some other recipes down. I'm not sure. They haven't showed it in the show yet, but I'm guessing there's probably going to be some other instance coming up where to show off his culinary skills. But maybe I don't know. Since he's such a Zen character, if besides cooking, maybe he also does yoga. I don't know.
Ooh, I could see that.
Ooh, yeah, that makes sense.
For sure.
Yeah, I buy that.
Oh, I don't know. Nora likes to make pottery, and when it doesn't come out, she smashes it against the wall. Starts over. She really likes the kiln too because of how hot it gets, and likes to see how close she can get to it without hurting herself.
She holds her hand out 1, 2. Dang it!
Gotta do it again.
So good.
Oh,
I'm
man,
just
that's a
going to
great
assume roller
question.
derby after our previous discussion.
Oh, right.
Oh God, that was such a perfect segue. Yeah, no, she does roller derby
She
too.
does it
But
all.
as she potteries, she does.
to go
does
do
it
the
all.
roller derby after screwing up with the pot. Take that anger, channel it into something else. So roller derby. There you go.
Clearly, the team has a wide and like diverse range of hobbies, but I think as we have learned from Volume 2, the one thing they all have in common is they dance. They clearly
They
go
all
to dance
dance.
practice.
Right.
They love all the dance reality TV shows. Like, oh man, they get down with it. Yeah.
Juniper for ABDC. We got to bring that back, y'all. Done. So our potentially final question comes to us from, this is an amazing name. Master Cheese Halo. Keeping on the topic of food, what do you think would be your character's favorite food?
Obviously a nice blend of a coffee pancake mix. It'd be like like the coffee toffee on top of the pancakes.
Ooh.
That's her favorite for sure.
Sounds a lot like my breakfast today.
Hey, that was your breakfast?
Pancakes and coffee, y'all. Except it had bananas mixed into this one. We had
it was a lot
had
healthier.
it was a treat yourself day. Let me tell you. Sorry, please continue.
I think
I feel like her favorite food would probably be similar to what one of my favorite foods are, but I feel like instead of just like a general thing, I feel like she's a cheesehead. Like I love cheese. And I feel like Pyrrha would also be like a cheese nut, but like the weirdest cheeses she can find. Like if there's a Grimm's milk cheese, or like weird milk cheeses, like she's that weird friend that like brings the different cheeses that smell strange and people are like, what? But they taste great and you're like, oh, okay. Like I have a feeling. I don't know why.
she shows up to like a normal backyard barbecue with like, this is a very exotic blue.
Yeah, but it was going to go on this burger.
Yeah, someone goes to put it on some nacho chips and she's like, I'm going to have to politely ask you not to do that. I have some coffee beans here. Smell the coffee beans, then sample the cheese. And
I
let
feel
it
like
sit.
you would show up with a tray where it was like organized, where you knew which crackers went with which cheese and which dried fruit, which went with what went together. I feel like they all be in rows, so you'd be like, cheese.
Yeah.
Like
I just see her just head in hands at the barbecue, and John's just like, "What's wrong?" Ruby's eating them with the Triscuit, so she seems to really like it, but that's just not the right flavor combination.
That's another chibi.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Jean has a obscure like family food that no one else would consider to be a food or recipe. I think he calls it pantry surprise. And it was a thing that he and his siblings would do, where they would just take a combination of either candies or like nuts or like dried fruits or whatever, and you just put it all in a bowl and you mix it up and you just sit down in front of the TV with that. It's pantry surprise. No one likes it. Everyone thinks it's gross. John's just like, pantry surprise, man. Here is the only one that's like, he's like, where, you want some pantry surprise? And she's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I can.
I'm thinking of that chibi episode where
so
she's eating what's that cereal?
Oh yeah, pumpkin peats.
Pumpkin peats.
He's like, and Jean's like, oh, the best pantry surprise is like 50% pumpkin peats. That's the base layer.
Why does it taste like toothpaste and bread?
You know that Pyrrha would think it's disgusting, but she's the one that puts on like the
yeah. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna make it for you every day, Pyrrha. I'll make it for you every day.
Yeah.
Pantry surprise, man. Time flies with pantry surprise. I'm working on a tagline for it.
Oh my god.
It sounds pantry surprise sounds way too close to panty surprise.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I keep thinking you're about to
All
say
right.
panty surprise.
We're gonna have
Working
I did
title.
too.
Working title.
Damn, I'm so glad I'm not the only one.
Cupboard.
All right. this
Cupboard
seems to
mystery.
happen.
It's a cupboard mystery now.
Covered
So
in
Neath,
mystery.
what you got to bring us home?
Oh, okay.
Close your eyes. It's a pantry surprise. Says Paul in the chat. Oh my god.
F in the chat for all of us
Oh,
on the
God.
stream today.
It's delicious.
Oh Lord. Sorry, Neath, go on, please.
No. I was
Face
gonna-
hurts.
wait, how old are the characters again? I don't remember. Like,
Oh man, I think they're like 17 or 18 now. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm
At this
okay.
point, they're
lightheaded from
17,
laughing.
18.
oh, all right. So
Oh,
they're not
God.
legal yet, right? Like,
What?
We can go with a theoretical when they are of age to consume alcohol.
yeah.
If that is gonna help things.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I was so
Like-
confused.
Miles is dead.
I was like, what kind of food is he going to suggest? When this is prominently like important information.
Pantry surprise.
Oh, you should have broken me. Oh god. Oh my lord.
Miles, your laugh is so contagious.
Thank you, and I'm sorry.
I think our live audience is probably just having a blast with all of it. Oh man, so I'm so sorry, Neath. We keep like just derailing your amazing
no, I mean,
culinary suggestion.
well, no, it's just if they're legal and as in alcohol, not as in.
Yeah.
No, it's
Just nice cocktails.
yeah. Just,
There we go.
like, yes, I don't know what you were thinking about.
That's good. I like that. That's a good answer.
Yeah, so some fancy drink times.
This is something I tried myself, so I don't know. Not for any of the kids out there, but this is something I came up with myself. It's sparkling wine plus umeshu. I don't know what. I'm not sure what umeshu is called in English. It's this Japanese type of plum wine. So a cocktail of sparkling wine and plum wine and Japanese plum wine. So
That sounds,
to the other members of Juniper, I would highly recommend it. I think you'll love it.
oh,
That sounds
I like that.
awesome.
Yeah,
That
that
does.
sounds delicious.
Sounds like
oh my
something
gosh,
you gotta
Ren and
prepare
Pyrrha
for your...
would hang out with their cocktails and their fancy cheeses.
Yes, yes. There we go.
Meanwhile,
That'll come together.
Meanwhile, Sean's like, you gotta try the pantry surprise on those pancakes. Just some milk duds and popcorn, wasabi peas.
Oh, this is gonna be the best
Garbage
chibi
boy.
episode
Garbage
ever.
boy.
And this has been an absolutely fantastic panel. Thank you so much to all of you for joining us here today. Thank you so much to everybody. We hope you've had a great time. Of course, go to GalaxyCon.com to find out what we have going on every single weekend. We always have some good times for you all. Until next time, as always, stay happy, stay healthy, stay informed, and we'll see you again at GalaxyCon Live. Take care, y'all.